Competing in the 2018 RORC Caribbean 600 on board Dazcat kit boat 1395 Dazzla, with the oldest crew in the race, was totally epic. When Mike invited me to join him on this race, just half an hour after we'd met for the first time before the start of the Fastnet, of course I said yes. But it was just a politeness. I clearly had a lot to learn about Mike, as I never for a second imagined that he actually meant it, and that in due course I'd find myself racing on board Dazzla in the beautiful turquoise waters that I'd last seen in 2000. Mike is a legendary sailor and claims that only one other person has sailed more Fastnets than he has. But this time, for the first time, he handed over to another skipper, an acknowledgement of his age which must have been hard. But Peter and he have sailed many thousands of miles together. Their combined experience, love of adventures and familiarity with each other made for a happy boat. Weather conditions meant that of the 84 boats that started, only 41 finished. One boat capsized, others had injured crew members or crew so seasick they couldn't continue. On board Dazzla we were doing fine, plodding through the wind and seas with our not exactly hotshot crew. We had no idea of the carnage that was going on around us and were gutted when our forestay fixing broke and we had to retire. But in fact we have reason to be proud of ourselves and our boat. In true Dazcat style, and despite the conditions and challenges, we laughed our way around the 600-mile course, and I'm delighted to have been invited by Mike to join another great and unique Dazcat adventure. I understand that Dazzla had been in St Martin during Hurricane Irma.
Yes it had, and two of the windows got blown in, and the whole interior got filled with grit and seaweed, and a number of problems resulted from that weren't apparent when the boat first set off.
The crew worked well together, even though most of us had never met before. Mike's son John was our skillful navigator, and often added his own usually hilarious twist to the tales that abounded on board. Dazcat medium me, and David, another old friend and sailing companion of Mike's, was our rigger and sail repairman who came equipped and ready to deal with whatever wear Hurricane Irma had inflicted on Dazzla. Colin is great at engineering and fixing things. He'd also pre-cooked and frozen a selection of delicious meals to keep us well fed.
Dave just come up with a very good suggestion that we put a rope round the pole, forward through the drain holes, and back out to the other pole, so we've got
two safety locks.
I think it's 25 knots coming from east to northeast.
That was 2 reefs in the main, and as many rolls off the foresail as we're breaking up for.
So here we are, passing the gate boat, checking that we're all present and correct.
We started off English harbour here, a heavy swell. Bring me to this feeling, up and away. 32 knots of wind, and we're manoeuvring for the start, and suddenly black smoke poured out of the port engine and we had to close it down. We opened the hatch and found that the stern plan was leaking. It was leaking in faster than we could pump it out, so we had no alternative but return to Falmouth Harbour. Whereupon, with a series of buckets, because the pump was kept blocking up with bits of towel, which should wrap around the prop shaft, we managed to get the water down and find out. Colin managed to fix it with some Jubilee clips, moving the seal.
A couple of sea monsters, a mermaid. Yeah, I've got a date with a mermaid later.
And that took us about 2 hours. And we then returned on 2 engines at the start, and everybody else obviously out of sight by this time.
We can come back into Falmouth. We've fixed our leak, and back helms in the start line, under power, and then start. Do we need to do 2 360 turns?
So finally, Dazzla is off. I believe the boats at the front of the fleet are already at Barbuda.
And we slowly made our way to windward. The top batten of the flat-headed headsail broke within sight at the start, so the boat wasn't pointing very well. More of a problem, it didn't tack very well, so we were having a bit of trouble tacking. Anyway, we had an uneventful sail up to Bermuda. We went round the waypoint in the dark, but we could see the buoy clearly.
Overnight, in the early evening, past the inflatable buoy off Barbuda, and then we surfed downwind at some considerable speed, passing around the bottom of Nevis in the early hours, and then reaching up the back of Nevis and some kits, and now we are approaching Saba. And when we get to Saba, we have to turn and head directly into the wind, so we'll be tacking our way across to some bars.
Okay. And what's the wind angle and speed and so on at the moment?
Speed is between 25 and 30 knots from east-northeast, and so as I say, we've been on a nice reach now.
And are you happy with our progress?
Happy with our progress once we had our 2-hour delay to start with.
Okay, thanks John.
Okay.
Mike's Dazzla was built for him as a kit boat by Multi-Marine Manufacturing in 2011. Mike's been working on fit out and modifications since then. I definitely get the impression that for him it's all about the sailing, and that's where he gets his pleasure.
And the next leg of the course was dead into wind again, absolutely dead onto wind, and we weren't pointing well. So we made a very long tack up north to St Martin. So much so that Johnny's wife sent him a message saying, "You've missed out."
Oh dear, I didn't know that bit. So she was following us on yellow brick and panicking. Thought he'd got his navigation wrong.
Whole island.
David, would you like to tell me what has just been going on?
Yeah, the third reef pennant, leech reef pennant, snapped or it's chafed through on the sheave on the end of the boom. So I attached a new turning arrangement and an external pennant.
Well done. Always travel with a sailmaker.
We then tacked back, just about down here, and we tacked again and didn't quite make it, so we came into the rocks, if you remember here,
yes,
and had to make a short tack in the dark, because we weren't making the wind as much as we thought. We then managed to go straight up there. We met some of the boats coming back, and then we had a nice fetch up to St Martin, and then we were dreading this short tacking because of our problems with the mainsail through the Anguilla Channel, and in fact crew went perfectly and we never missed a tack, and that went very well, straight into the wind. And then when we got to the top, we sent back down past Tinta Maria, which is a tricky little bit of course with nasty rocks that aren't lit. We came round that, and by that time we were all exhausted, and the other watch went down, and we continued on, if you remember, till 5.
It's Wednesday morning and we are passing Nevis. Wind is around 24 knots. We are between 8 and 10, I think, and we have Michael on the helm. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
How was your breakfast?
My breakfast was lovely, thank you.
It's a beautiful day, still breezy.
We're homeward bound, we're past the halfway mark. The wind is still very firmly blowing between 25 and 35 knots. We're quite very satisfactory really, but not going as fast as we might, but then we're not the fastest boat in the fleet, and we've got two elderly gentlemen that need looking after. The average age of the crew is over 60. The youngest is 50, so yeah, compared to the hot shots, we're doing fine.
How's your eye? You damaged your eye, Peter, didn't you?
I've no idea because I can't see it, so I can't more.
How does it feel?
I feel fine.
Good, okay.
And then we had a lovely reach down to St Bart's, and then a fetch all the way down past Montserrat, which we decided to take on the lee side rather than being on a lee on a lee shore. So we had a very nice time through there looking at all the volcano. Very pleasant. And the first time we could all sit down for a meal. We were very glad we went to the lee side. It wasn't perhaps the fastest. And then from there we had another lovely reach down to Dazzla.
Straight from a party, we're all on a roll tonight. Women be sparky, all the men be dancing right, moving my body, clubbing feels so sweet. We turn and turn and turn again. We turn and turn and feel the heat. Straight from a party, music's coming your way. I will be smiling, you'll be so fine. Do you believe there's a young world in my heart telling me to dance, taking a chance? If you believe there's a young world to come about, young world shaking the ground. Straight from a party, clubbing till the morning break, moving your body, talking to my soul. And I got all my sisters to the right. We'll be moving till the break of
Dare to
light.
open it. I've only seen it
And I
here
got all
once.
my brothers within sight,
There it is.
turning till the clock
Stand
will
clear
strike
'cause it
1,
might
2,
backfire.
3, 4. Pretty people
Well, the water
dance,
looks beautiful.
dance,
Oh, there it goes.
pretty people dance.
And then we got it came to blow again in this funnel here. It blew really hard here, and it was a close fetch really to the end of the rock, which we took quite close because again we were on the lee side. Then round the next rock and then back to our disaster.
You dance, taking a chance. If you believe there's a young world to come about, young world shaking the ground. There's no
Morning, Peter.
Morning. Right, we're just going to run through the events running up to our near disaster. We were coming down here from just off the coastline, but we were a bit further off so we didn't get becalmed. We rounded this rock here very close. You remember the rock? We could throw a tennis ball at it.
Yes, I do.
And we came round here, and the wind was coming exactly where we wanted to come from. So it's low. We then, the other watch took a long tack out here, is the best they could do. And we tacked a change of watch about there. And then we headed up here. And it was getting very squally. This is where we had the rain squalls and the whole of us blacked out. Then we could see the lights and then we couldn't. We were beating hard on the wind and we had this two very, very heavy rainstorms. One reaching 43 knots, we could see nothing. And we got to a stage where the lee shore was becoming a problem. About 4:30, the change of watch was at 5. So I called up Johnny because it needed one more person to safely tack it. So he came up early and looked at the situation and he agreed that yeah, we definitely needed to tack. So we then tacked, which took us back at that angle, straight for this island. And we were heading towards that, knowing we were going to have to tack again quite soon. And there was suddenly a very loud bang. Johnny was on the horn. And this pin had come out of the forestage. That's where we were then, without any sails. Lee shore on both sides. And not really very happy bunnies. But it wasn't howling by then. We'd got about 34 knots when the sail actually went, and it was no longer raining. And because we were sheltered by the island here, there was no great swell. Plenty of wind, but no swell. And the rain cloud was blocking these out, so we couldn't. A lot of the time, we couldn't see the land we knew that was there. I instantly ran up and dropped the main. There was a mast was flapping about, and that took the whole load and the weight of the main and the boom. Dropped it down, and the weight of it falling broke the lazy jacks, so the mainsail was all over the deck, which didn't help. Well, all over Johnny as well. And then went forward and tightened up the screecher halyard, which is fortunately already attached to the bridle. And that supported the mast. In the meantime, the forestay with this large steel drum on the bottom was thrashing around in the great arms, propelled by the flapping sail. So we had to run round that. And I took the other halyard, the blue one, still there, which was against the mast, and made it fast on the bow, and then wrenched that up tight. So we now had 2 lines holding the mast up. By this time, Colin and Dave had arrived, all strapped up, life jackets and kit, and we attempted to control this flailing, which was clearly, Colin said, it's going to take your head off in a minute, by that big steel drum on the end of it.
Yeah.
And the sail was flapping, which is what was propelling it round, and it was leaping up and down. Because the sail had about 6 turns on it, so we couldn't pull the sail down until we'd unwound all those turns. And when we unwound the turns, I don't know, still don't know how we managed it, we then pulled the sail down, took the halyard off, and put the halyard on the other bow, so that we now had 3 lines holding the mast up. We then set about controlling this inner forestay, and it poked a hole in the trampoline. We've redone it now, but there's a big hole you could have dropped through there. Cut all those linings off. But I pressed back and decided that there was no more ropes around. We tied the mainsail up as best we could, because the lazy jacks had broken off. And, not very tidy but safe. Checked there were no ropes around and started the engines for a gentle cruise home.
Or not.
Or not. We had a little trouble with one of the engines overheating, and John had some trouble controlling the boat on one engine. It did.
But we were tacking under power, weren't we, to control it?
That much water could come in.
So,
only the stern man.
Team Dazzla, we thought we were safe home and we're going to have a nice relaxing day off, and have woken up to discover that we're lucky we didn't all get wet in our bones, and we're desperately hoping that the engine that now looks quite nice and clean will see another day.
It won't without major work, but I'm sure it will see another day. I'm in the vulnerable position.
Yes. I think you need a day off, Peter. I think you really need a day off, but
this is why I've got no hair left.
Peter is only 42 years old.
Accompanied it. When I got excited, my hat would start revolving. That's what had taken my hair off.
Brilliant.
The trees are closing. I said, no, let Peter see that or his hat will start.
And here we have John, who has found the perfect spot to do the washing up.
They let the galley slaves outdoors occasionally.
the prize giving, let me introduce new Commodore of the Royal Ocean Racing Club, Stephen Anderson.
The Caribbean 600. We saw very strong trade winds, we saw some big seas. It was quite a race.
Line honours multi-hull, and first Mokra is Paradox. Well done, Peter and crew. I'll make a special mention to the next guy I would like to invite up, from Dazzla, 87-year-old Michael. Well done. You did finish for us. Well done, Michael. Hot stuff.
Race has been fine. We've had an excellent crew who've all been very happy and worked well together, and it was as good as we could hope for. But we could have driven the boat quite a bit harder
and broken it sooner.
I don't think it would have broken. Maybe, I don't know.
Our Dazzla. What have been the highlights?
Having you on board, dear.
Oh, Mike. Apart from that.
Oh, there were some good moments, weren't there?
We've had a lot of laughs, haven't we?
We've had a good number of laughs, and it was great to have John sailing with me again. I haven't enjoyed his company on board for quite a while, but we used to do a lot of sailing together. He actually was better than I'd thought he was going to be, because he really has kept going.
When I set off to join Dazzla, I was armed with a multitude of questions about Mike's racing and sailing history, few of which I'm able to answer, even after spending over a week with him. I'm sure he did answer most of my questions, interwoven in tales of high adventure and fun, but the stories were told in no particular order, prompted by things people said or something that was happening, and all the while the Caribbean winds were whipping up a frenzy around us. So I'm sorry, I failed in my mission to bring you a comprehensive history of this remarkable man. But instead, I hope that through this video, and the write-up that I'll do to follow, you can catch a glimpse of what keeps this particular Dazcat owner coming back for more. The real beauty of Dazcats is that every single one is as individual as its owner. After all, each is handcrafted and moulded to suit your very own variety of dreams, whatever your taste in adventures. The thing that's the same about all of them is that you just can't help but smile when you're sailing a Dazcat. Mike Butterfield's Dazzla Dazcat 1395 kit boat is no exception. Her beautiful lines and strong build provide the perfect backdrop for Mike's kind of adventure. She's his fourth Dazcat, and he's won many RORC and Mokra races in a great variety of boats, both multi-hulls and monohulls. His mission has been to bring multi-hulls into the mainstream, and he was the initiator and founder member of Mokra with this goal in mind, a goal that he continues to pursue. Mike is also an extensive cruiser, and I enjoyed the stories of what he calls his frolics, otherwise known as adventures, many of which featured our skipper, Mike's longtime friend Peter, and son John. I've come to understand that Mike thrives on the why not attitude, and embraces whatever life presents him with in full confidence that he can deal with it. Well, I've had an absolutely superb time, Mike.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed it.
I really have. I've so enjoyed myself, and I'm still enjoying myself. So thank you.
You're very welcome, Mario. Very welcome. Promises, promises.
Promises, yes.